Hello, it's a Yorkshireman, now living in Wales. I'm back again, and this is part 5 of the key question, what are they going to do with us all? So, I'm going to cover something which you might never have thought of, but that is your pet, and that is your household pet. Now, like most of us, we are well aware that animals are bad, cows are bad, anything's bad, farming's bad, and that's why they want rid of it. Now, if I recall, and if I've got my biology right, pets, dogs, cats, whatever you have, hamsters, anything like that, they're animals. Now, it's been well documented that animals are bad for climate change because they fart and things like that, and they require meat to eat, and they eat grass, which is quite confusing for me because I like my meat, right? Bit of a side issue there. So, if you think they're going to let you have a pet, well, you're going to have to rethink, because what I have noticed when I thought about it is they seem to have left alone pets. Now, if you want a dog, if you have a cat, whatever you have, pets are good. People like pets. People like taking the pets out for a walk. They like taking them to different places. Pets are very sociable. Now, but according to everything else, pets are also bad for the environment. Now, I did also look up whether or not pets need meat to eat, and it would seem that cats definitely do. Dogs are saying that you can manage them on a vegetarian diet, but it has to be very specialised. Now, to me, that means very expensive. So, let's just say you can afford to keep your pet. Let's just say you live in a 20-minute, 15-minute city, but you want to take your dog somewhere different. How are you going to do it? How are you then going to take your dog or your pet to the vet? Because what you're trying to tell me, or what they're trying to tell me, is that within the 20-minute cities they're going to have a hospital, they're going to have a dentist, they're going to have a vet. It's not going to work, is it? So if your vet gets old and needs to go once a week, how are you going to get there? What are you going to do? Carry it in a basket on your push bike? You're going to get a bus which will run every 2 hours, then wait 2 hours again. So pets are something you need to really think about, because they've not mentioned it. Because I'll tell you why. They've looked at it, and what they've realised is that will get people excited. A bit of a hint, that's why I'm mentioning it, because I believe that will be coming soon. I mean, you have bird flu, you have chicken flu. Before you know it, we're going to end up with dog and cat flu, which I should imagine is a thing, and that'll be the next epidemic, what we're going to talk about, or pandemic, what we're going to talk about. And that will come to a cinema near you soon. So, the next subject is a bit of an odd one. Never really thought about it until I watched a bit of a YouTube channel, asset stripping. So we've all worked, we've all saved, we've all planned. I've already mentioned about if now you want some sort of medical treatment, you need it to alleviate pain or to give you a better quality of life. Most people I know end up going private. Now, going private is expensive. And this could be like for corrective eye treatment. They can hardly see. They need something doing. Oh, we'll see you in 2 years' time then. They'll be blind. My hip's bad. I need to be more mobile. That'll cost you 9 grand. Anything. I need dentists. I mean, I've had to take 2 of my teeth out already. Right, because I don't see why I should pay. I've had a moan about this already. Yeah, because they're giving half a billion pound to charities, what about everything else? This is how they asset strip from you. Now, I've also been talking to other people, and some people are now concerned that they need to get a new boiler now before the government changes legislation so they can't get that type of boiler anymore. That is forcing people, literally forcing them to get another appliance they don't need. The other one's perfectly serviceable, it works. In addition, some people are now jumping and getting electric cars, which are more expensive to run, more expensive to insure, everything else. But why? They have a perfectly good car because they are being scared and manipulated into spending their money. I guess the aim is to make us poor so that we can't resist, so we don't have free will, so we become more dependent on the state. That's the only guess. Now, there is something else, and there's an odd thought about this I've had, and everything I've read whether it's climate change or anything like that, it's always about trying to manage people with poverty. And one of them was about 20 miles an hour and about making it equal for people. Also, it comes around, I've seen it mentioned, believe it or not, in 20-minute cities and active travel. And I think asset stripping is to make us poor. So we're just as poor as the people who are poor anyway. So you're not poor, you're just equal. Which I don't really get. But asset stripping is a thing. Now remember, in all the topics I've mentioned, none of us have been asked. And I will say this, I've said it before. The decision making in Wales is made by approximately 6,000 special people who are making decisions, and the government are accepting that 6,000 voices of who I don't know for the rest of us, but we pay the bulk of the money in taxes. So I think, so what my next steps is with this is I will put this into a letter to my 5 members of the Senate and my 1 English MP, who's Welsh but English, and I will ask them the simple question. I'll list it all down and I'll say, when you've done all this, what are you going to do with us all? Because I still like the question. It is a good question. Right. Thank you for watching, if you've watched. If not, you better do. Subscribe, tick, and I think that's about all I've got for this subject. I think there might be something else. Right, thank you.